Welcome. My name is Jay Darragon, and I'll be narrating this presentation titled, What is Your Social Strategy and Why You Need to Have One? Let's look at traditional strategic thinking. It encompassed organizational assessment and alignment of key elements present in most organizations. It was about building a plan of action designed to achieve particular goals. Now the elements have changed. What are the elements? You have direction, organizational design, and engagement. Now ask yourself, what two critical things cut across all of these elements? They are communications and relationships. What has changed? The internet is changing all strategies because the internet is facilitating massive communications and connectivity with relationships all over the globe. Those relationships are focused on collaborating around affinity issues about solving problems, creating solutions, and sharing that information amongst friends, one-to-one to a million at the click of a mouse. Because of this, social strategies will emerge. In the coming months and years, we will see a new knowledge domain emerging, and it will be labeled as social strategy. What do I mean by knowledge domain? What I mean is the information gathered about this new dynamic and what is its meaning and its intent with all the people conversing. Why will this emerge? It will emerge because the markets of conversations will continue to influence how market leaders think and what they do, which means all things related to strategy will have to change. Let's look at a definition of social strategy. A social strategy defines how the organization can better relate and communicate with all of its constituents. Who are these constituents? They're people, investors, suppliers, partners, employees, markets, customers. It's everyone. Relational communications has always been a very impactful process that influenced markets. But today, that process is turning markets upside down, inside out, and disrupting how the markets operate. Social strategy requires a transformation in thinking. What do we mean? Today, the internet has enabled a market of conversations representing hundreds of millions of people conversing daily. Where do people go to find solutions, information? They go to the internet. They use search. When they gather information, they create knowledge, and they learn what the market wants, needs, or offers. If you're looking for something, you're looking for information. For businesses, gaining that wisdom and engagement of the market is of critical and strategic importance to the future of the business. Why? Because if you study the conversations, you study the information, you look at how to use the technology to reach your markets, you can learn how to create your own products and services that serves those needs, wants, and desires. You can learn how to better communicate the value proposition, the intention your organization has with the markets. That is how you build currency. It's market value obtained from the creation of new products and services, or simply reaching the market in a better way with your existing products and services and communicating more effectively. It doesn't mean traditional mass media advertising tricking people into a transaction. It means building relationships. There's a lot of forces that are changing business dynamics. Conversations are relational. Mass marketing and advertising are not necessarily relational. Your culture is transparent. What are your employees saying to the market, saying to their friends about your organization? People trust people and not institutions. The web is fueling change in strategies, and we must think about those changes and put them into context of how we build, develop, and deploy our strategies. You see, traditionally, organizations have been closed in culture, restraining communications, controlled by policies. But the web today is an open culture. It's self-organized. It's conversational. It's building practices about finding the right information to solve problems or building relationships and collaborating online. It's a systemic shift. Systemic being, on the left side, you see businesses who have investors, suppliers, partners, employees in the market. Traditionally, businesses would put out information and create information and propagate that information to a market in a one-way directional process from left to right. Today, however, because of the internet, it's a two-way feedback loop. Who, what, where, why, and how markets operate are created and driven by communications. Social media is the new system of communicating. If you don't know how to ask the right questions that lead you to the right answers, then how can you figure out strategically what you should be doing organizationally? That's why we call it a social strategy. It's transformation of influence. Every business wants influence on their market. Now the market is a market of conversations. Do you have a social strategy? If you don't, then how will you relate? Remember when we looked at the elements of a strategy? The two critical elements that cut across all of those issues was communicating and relationships. How can we build strategies without taking into the social aspects and the impact the internet's having on our businesses? That means business is no longer as usual. Rather, it's very unusual. Why? It requires new thinking, new knowledge that is propagating the marketplace daily. And to take that information and create your own knowledge means you now have to create a new strategy. It's a new world, and it requires new social strategies. I hope you found benefit in this presentation. We'll continue to investigate what are the new social strategies emerging, and be sure to share them with you. Thank you for your time and your attention. Stay with us.